What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Another awesome episode here for you guys, the Vegans Who Lift podcast. We got Brooke Sellers, aka Miss Meatless Muscle, and myself, John Thomas, aka the Bodybuilding Vegan. And today we're going to be talking about social media because everybody loves that and everybody wants to be an influencer. So we're going to teach you how, step by step, maybe. How's it going, Brooke?
It's going. Yeah, I think everybody's going to love this topic because everybody's trying to have their content do well. I even have friends who aren't even trying to be influencers. Like I have a friend who does cosplay and she goes to all the Dragon Cons and stuff like that, and she's always trying to grow her content and grow her reach. So even if you don't want to be an influencer, you just want more eyes on your content, you want to grow your social media, you want to meet some cool people, yeah, we'll be giving you some good tips on how we did it.
It's like a game. It's just like anything else. You can get good at it if you practice it and if you kind of know some of the rules or some of the tips and tricks. You've done some cosplay though, haven't you? I've seen you dress up as Princess Leia.
Yeah, I've done a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
cosplay. It's just I would love that as a hobby. It's just also expensive. So that with bodybuilding is just, too much because you got to buy all the costumes and stuff.
Yeah. I feel the same about racing cars one day, but probably when I'm done bodybuilding.
Yeah,
Um,
you got to choose one.
cool. So, I mean, this is like a hugely open-ended topic. So before I dive right in, I'm just going to say something that's on my mind. I feel weird because Allie bought us these mugs, and hers has an A, and mine has a J. Clearly, I'm drinking out of hers because mine is dirty. And I feel weird drinking out of like a J mug. Like I feel like somebody's gonna see me and be like, "This guy thinks highly of himself." He went as far as getting a coffee mug with his own initial on there, and that's actually a gift. But then I walk around with like bodybuilding vegan on me everywhere I go, and I don't think that's weird. So I don't know. I guess I'm just weird. But
That's
now
funny.
we'll see if I haven't told her this, so we'll see if she watches this episode to know that I'm drinking out of her mug. She may never know. This is just another reason she should watch.
See, when me and Steve first met, we bought each other mugs and we had the same thing. We had our initials on it, but I have the S and he has the B. I don't know. So that's how we did it, which I don't know, kind of makes sense towards, but then everybody's going to be like, well, what if, for you, they're like, what's A? Like, what does A mean? But if they see the J, they know it's John. So, but it's just for you, it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to choose this mug today and it's going to make me think of my person.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Okay. Well, I just wanted to throw that out there. I was curious if I was weird or not. Usually the answer to that is yes, I am weird, and who cares?
Yeah, I would
All right.
never buy anything with a B on it. But that's kind of popular. People get their initials on everything and they
Mhm.
get it embroidered and it's their first, last, and middle initial. I've just never been that person, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just I'm not super proud of my name or my initials are BS. So I don't know.
Sorry.
Can't walk around with BS on me all the time.
I never even thought of that until you said it right now. I laughed just like a child would. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, when I was really young, we had pottery class when I was in first grade, and we had to write sketch our initials into the pot so that when she took them out of the what is it, kiln? I think it's a kiln.
Mhm.
God, it's been so long. She would know whose they were, and she read mine, and she was like, "Okay, who did this?" Like really upset, and then I was like, "It's mine," and then she looked at me and she just laughed. She was like, "Oh, okay, sorry."
Uh,
It's funny.
as if being a child in public school isn't traumatizing enough.
Whew,
Um,
yeah.
well, it's been a minute since we've had a win of the week, I feel like. I mean, I talk to you almost daily. We were just FaceTiming after the class yesterday, so that was cool. But let's share for the rest of the world a win of the week.
Win of the week. Ooh, geez, what is my win for the week? It's been one of those weeks. I would say this week, I signed a lot of clients this week, got a lot of new clients, which was great. And some really good people. So very excited to have a really good roster and help some more vegans out there.
Heck yeah. Okay. I like that. Um, did you do anything different to bring them in, or it's just somewhat, I mean, on my end, it feels cyclical. It's like I never know. Um,
Summer is always usually pretty good. You know, because people are outside, they're in bathing suits, and so summer is historically a pretty good time for me. But I will say, you know, on my intake form, I always ask people where they found me, like where did they hear about me. And you know, the past 4 years, mostly it's been Instagram. And I've now that I've started kind of like branching out into other platforms, I'm getting more diversity in that question, which I think is really, really good. Because it used to be really, and like me and you talk about this all the time, and in the academy, like it used to be that it was just enough to have Instagram, but it's really not like that anymore. Like you kind of got to branch out onto other platforms, which actually works great with what we're talking about today. So you know, just people saying they found me on YouTube. Actually, my website. Shout out to Sean because I've gotten a lot of people who don't have social media, but they found my website because of the SEO keywords and the stuff we're doing with my website. Reddit has been great. You know, despite the pros and cons of Reddit and how annoying sometimes people can be on there. But yeah, so I think that's been pretty key for me is just trying to branch out of Instagram and like push myself out of my comfort zone a little bit, which I mostly invested all my time in Instagram because I always got the reward. And whereas like when I would post on TikTok and stuff, I would hardly get any views. So I just didn't do it. But I'm learning that like, you know, you still should do it, even if you're not outperforming other people because it's still somebody could see it and resonate with your message.
Yeah, 100%. It's like we've both, you and I at least, have really built out this Instagram following, so everything else feels small in comparison. But if we get another 100 followers on Instagram versus 100 subscribers on YouTube or something like that, we're hitting a possibly a completely different audience. I was just even reading like last night, like if you want to hit millennials, don't go start a Facebook account. If you're trying to hit senior citizens, don't start a TikTok account. Like think about your market, and my market is just about anyone. I mean, anybody that wants to be serious, anybody that wants to train. I do like bodybuilders, I do like PED users, but I'll work with anybody that's committed, and that could be in any of these places. So I have had in the last month one person from YouTube, one person from Reddit, and I think in the last 2 months, one person from TikTok. And I don't even do TikTok anymore. So they must have found like something old on there. So yeah, you never know. Spread your eggs around in many baskets, I guess. Diversify. Um, that's not very vegan.
You're just
Well,
eggs.
I guess yeah, just egg, or if you're a woman, you have eggs, so that could work. No, that was weird. Yeah, but Reddit is fickle. You and I both know that. It's everybody on Reddit has an opinion and they don't have a face or an identity tied to it. So you can be anyone and anything on Reddit and say whatever you want and have to not do anything to back it up. At least if we're on Instagram commenting, we can be like, the least powerful argument is like, what is it? The appeal to authority. Like, well, I said this and it's worked for me because I'm 250 pounds. Like, at least I got that going for me. But on Reddit, anybody can put anything.
Yeah, it's the wild wild west of just a whole lot of just nonsense. I have to limit my time on there because it's just, man, people will just say anything and they don't know anything about what they're talking about. So, you know, and it's like you could have a completely innocent post. Like I had some
Mm,
people going off on my YouTube that I made about my top 10 vegan protein sources that worked for me as a vegan bodybuilder. And they had all these different opinions on like what should have and should have not have been in there. And it's like, dude, I didn't realize this was your YouTube video. Like,
for real. Like, okay, you're not my sponsor paying me for this video. You're not actually buying my product or my coaching services. You're just some random person that has never made anything on YouTube in your life, don't even know what it takes to make a video, and you're going to come here and critique. Thank you, but no thank you. I'm trying to give free
yes.
information. Like, damn, this should be behind a paywall, but we're giving it away.
Really,
Um,
seriously, I know like that's what's frustrating is it's like and YouTube even I got this comment, you know how how sometimes you make these real I don't know if you do, but like I've made some reels where it's like see caption for details because it's just too much to put in a 7-second video. Like it was something about like 5 ways you know your gut health is impacting your fitness goals. That's way too much to explain in a video. If you're trying to keep it short and concise. And I had somebody comment, she was like, "Hey, like stop doing this format. We're tired of reading the caption and all this stuff." And I'm like, okay, I've like literally put time and effort into putting out free information that my clients are actually paying me for. And this is like the response I get. But you know what? Like, don't follow my content then. Like,
Yeah,
people are
here, let me help
crazy.
you. Let me make you a 7-second video on how to find the unfollow button. I don't need it. I don't need you. Oh, good lord.
So what's your
People are
win?
nuts. Um, I'm gonna tell a funny YouTube story. I got like
Okay.
ganged up in the comments, sort of. Posted a video. Actually, the video did pretty well for me. YouTube is still new for me, so I'm figuring it out. And this, I think it's a woman. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't. They didn't even have a username. It might not even be a woman. This person's like, "What's with the big belly?" And I'm just like, I eat a lot of vegan food. I really like it. Something like that. Or like a lot of good vegan food. Like I'm like, "Oh, I'll just play with them back." Some random other person comes in and says, "There's no good tasting vegan food." And I'm just like, why are y'all even watching me? Like, but
I
I'll,
know.
I'll take the free engagement. Please keep the comments coming. I think that's what I said. Something like, "Well, there's no bad engagement, so thank you for helping out my channel." But
I know,
yeah,
like, what the
200.
hell is up with the YouTube algorithm? Because it's like at least TikTok and like Instagram, it always seems to find the right place. And it's like
Mhm.
somebody's sitting at YouTube, like, who is the target audience that they're trying to avoid at all costs? Let me send it that way. Like, it's like, how do my vegan videos end up in carnivore land? Like,
Unless these people just have nothing better to do than go find vegan videos and hate on them, and that's why they're getting suggested. I don't know. That sounds like a horrible existence. Um,
seriously.
my win. I got a lot. I always got a lot, but I'll put this down. I'm at my all-time strongest in my entire life. Like I'm matching my best bench press somewhere like incline Smith pressing 365 for like 8 to 10. That's solid. My pendulum squats, I just did 6 plates in a band for 8. Really happy with that. I did 8 reps with 100 kilograms in each hand, so it's 220 pounds in each hand for RDLs. Very happy with that. And just this last week, I got 10 reps with 545 on rack pulls. So very happy with my
Nice.
strength levels. Yeah, I've never been quite this strong. We're at like the end of a bulk right now. So about another week, and then we're gonna take all of August and September to get healthy, which honestly I need. And I need to
Yeah.
come down and just cruise and chill. And I'll still train, but I might even do like every other day. I might see if I can finagle that. Actually, sidebar. I thought about longevity in the sport, and you know what? We'll save this for the burnout topic, but um, yeah, I need to just make a note because I really do want to cover this. I had like an
Yeah.
epiphany on how I can extend my time in the sport. It's so silly. I was watching the Simone Biles Netflix documentary. Pretty solid thing if you guys are into it. Talks a lot about mental health, and I think anybody that's an influencer, an athlete, could totally relate. Um, other wins. I've just been busy. Been busy. I have a food schedule. Like I have so many places asking me to come eat, thanks to Vegans Explore, that I'm like, let me work you into the calendar. It's gonna be 3.5 weeks, and they're like, just to swing by and eat some food. I'm like, I got 3 other obligations this week, next week, and the week after. So that's cool that like I'm at that point, but now it's like it's starting to slow things down. So, Alex, I'm sure he's going to listen to this because he's freaking awesome. But Alex from, of course, Alex, he's in the academy with us, but he just moved to Tampa. And so I'm bringing him on as a vegans explorer so we can send him out to eat some of the food that I just, I can't keep up with. There's too
Yeah.
much.
I
So,
know. I couldn't
um,
do that. I couldn't do it as often as you do. I mean, I just couldn't get away with
yeah,
it like that. I mean, I'm sure you can. I mean, it's like I know you could make good choices, but like to be honest, it's hard to go to a cool vegan restaurant and you have all these menu items that you're not used to having and you want to try it. Like it's hard
yeah,
to pick the quinoa macro bowl.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
even I started to think about the content. Like,
Right.
I kind of wanted to just go to the pizza place that was just posted and just get a couple pizzas. I was like, that's not gonna look as cool as getting the garlic rolls, the Parmesan chicken thing, the pizza, the calzone. Like, I should get the whole experience so other people want to come get the experience. But I really just wanted the pizza, and the pizza was the best part. And I'm going back for pizza soon. But um, it is hard, especially we went to this place, Cider Press in St. Pete, and they were freaking phenomenal. Allie and
Mm.
I ate to the point of like it was bad, like we ate too much. And then they come out with like a giant jerk chicken burger with this like blue blackberry dressing, like it's just different from anything I've ever had, like sweet and spicy, and a whole rack of fries, some of the best fries I've ever tasted in my life. And they're like, the chef wanted you to try this new menu item. I'm like, we just ate like 12 pounds of food and now like they're just standing there smiling. And I'm like, oh, I don't want it, but I don't know how to say no.
I
So
know.
yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good answer. Like, obviously can't do this in prep. And then I try to be reasonable and it never works. So Sean will be my handler at events. He'll slow my roll a little bit. Allie will try, and then she knows she can't win that fight if I want to be in
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hey, maybe that's why you're stronger than ever.
Yeah. Well, what I've noticed is I think my calories, like our macros for this off season, are just a hair under where they should be. Because every time I'm like on my plan for a week, I dip back under 250. Like I was 247 this morning. Anytime that I'm eating out a couple times a week, we're pushing into like the low 250s, like 252, 253. I had one day after a big cheat meal, I was like 256, but that was just one day. Um, so yeah, it's like if I stick to the plan, I'm not actually really growing. I don't know. It's worked out all right, but I'm not exactly advocating this for anyone else. But okay, talked about all the food I've eaten and weird comments I've made. Let's let's get into um social media, right? Yes, social
Social
media.
media, yeah.
Let's go back to the start. What was your first social media anything? I'm a little older than you, so mine might be different.
My first, I think it was Facebook. I think Facebook was like the first thing I was like allowed to have, and I had to friend my mom and all this stuff.
How what grade were you in? I don't remember what I guess I know what grade and age. What age were you and what grade?
Honestly, I think I was in 5th grade, which is like crazy to think about, but I'm pretty sure when I was in 5th grade, I had Facebook, and that's when it kind of started taking off because I remember being on the bus, and when as soon as everybody got on the bus, they were on Facebook.
Damn, did y'all have smartphones back then?
I we had flip phones, but you could go on your laptop. Oh wait,
Mm.
good point.
Because for me, it was all on it. It was like, oh shit, I haven't been on my computer today. Let me go check my Facebook.
I don't
But
know. I had a flip phone. I had
uh,
what was it? A Razor,
a
I think.
razor,
A
yeah, yeah,
Razor.
yeah.
So that was my first phone, and it did have internet, but like it took forever. So like I don't know. Maybe everybody was just waiting to get home to get on Facebook. I know I was like I couldn't wait to get home and get on Facebook, but also like I was a gamer too, so I loved my video games. So coming home and playing my video games, but yeah, Facebook, but, like, the bad thing was is even then, like, I mean, I got bullied on Facebook, which was horrible, so that
Uh,
was, like, cyberbullying in its infancy, like, I was already experiencing that, because there was really mean kids at school, and kids were so mean to me, but, yeah, we would always take pictures and, like, do stupid stuff for Facebook.
yeah, okay. So that was probably like what, like 10 years old, fifth grade, something
9
like
or
that. 10,
10, I
11.
think, yeah, I'm not good with that stuff, but I think that's how
Yeah.
old a 5th grader would be, yeah.
Well, I became vegetarian in fifth grade, and
Okay.
I was 10, at least at some point in that year, maybe 9 and 10 or 10 and 11. I don't know. But yeah, yeah, that would make sense. I got my MySpace when I was in like sixth grade or seventh grade. That was my first thing. But I think I'm what, like 4 years older than you? I'm 31. You're 27?
27.
Yeah. So kind of in almost the same age range, but starting with that older thing. And then Facebook, girlfriend might be strong of a word, but for about 2 weeks, I had what I thought was a girlfriend in eighth grade. And she's like, you need a Facebook. And I was like, no, I don't. And then she's like, what's your email? And then she like emails me, hey, I made you a Facebook. Here's the password. You can log in. And so like my Facebook was made by someone else. I'm sure it's
That's
changed
so
since then,
funny.
but like what if she heard this like 20 years later and was like, haha, I'm gonna hack him. I'm sure it's changed. But yeah, MySpace was it for a while. And like you could have I had like Fort Minor, Remember the Name. That was my song on my page. And then Facebook doesn't let you put a song, so I didn't think it was as cool, but
Yeah.
clearly one of those won out, and probably a lot of people listening to this is like, "What's a MySpace?" Um,
I know. I wasn't allowed to have MySpace because my brother, who is 11 years older than me, was on MySpace. And so, like, he was older. So he saw like all the, just crazy shit on MySpace. So he told my mom,
mm,
and then my mom was like, "You can't have MySpace." But apparently, like, Facebook was supposed to be different, even though I guess Facebook is a little bit more censored than MySpace was. But I mean, I don't know.
yeah,
You know, not that
it
any
might be
kid should be
now.
on it.
I feel
Yeah.
like even we were just talking about it yesterday, like there's a lot of manufactured social media that goes around. Um, Actually funny you mentioned cyberbullying. Maybe not funny like haha, but like interesting. Um, I ended up getting into a fight. I've only been in like that I recall one real like drawn out fist fight, like planned, met up, actually fought each other in a parking lot. And that was in I think junior year of high school. And the reason for that fight was because a kid that bullied me in elementary school found another kid that bullied me in middle school. And then in high school, they both met up on Facebook, like on a public, like I guess on each other's pages, talking about how they used to bully me in different ways. And I have another friend that jumps in, like, oh, he'll fight you now. And I got roped into this, but a part of my inner child from back then wanted to be roped into this. And I ended up in a fist fight over bullying from different generations that met up on Facebook. It was just like looking back on it now, I'm like,
Crazy.
how did this even happen? But yeah, so funny. Um,
Well, please tell me
yeah.
you held your own.
Oh, I won. There were
Okay,
some
good.
flip phone recordings of that fight for a long time, and somebody showed the teacher at my school, and she like pulled me aside and was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "You saw the video, right?" Yeah, I'm okay.
Oh my
um,
gosh, good.
yeah,
They
they're
deserve
like,
it, it
"No, like,
sounds
are you
like.
mentally okay?" But um, hey, I don't advocate for fighting. I mean, I think about it now, like that's a very scary moment. Like, not only could he have beaten me, and then I would probably like oof, that would be hard to get bullied and then get beaten,
Yeah.
years later. But even harder, like, imagine, because like, anything could happen. What if he slipped? What if he fell? What if he hit his head? Like, my life as I know it could have never happened if over some stupid thing in high school. So, I don't exactly regret it, but I'm not exactly proud of it either. It just kinda happened to be how I got to where I'm at today. And around a little bit after that time, I think, is when I first got Instagram. I think I was in, like yeah. Oh, I was dual enrolled. I thought I was in college. No, it was like my senior year of high school. I was dual enrolled in college, and that's when I believe first started my Instagram to document my first like cut into a prep for a bodybuilding show. So this is back in like late 2013. Wow, over a decade ago. You can go find my
Damn.
first post. Um, and I used it to do that whole documentation for that prep, and then by like right after the show, 2014, I didn't post again until I think 2018. I had just graduated from UF and started dating the woman that ended up becoming my ex-fiance, and she was big on Instagram. And so I started posting again just so I could like keep up with her, like post something about her. And I'm so glad I did because up until it wasn't even until like 2020 that I started trying to post like informational content or anything that wasn't strictly about myself or my life, like thinking maybe this will go somewhere. So like, yeah, I started it with no idea. But anyways, that was how I got on Instagram. That's about where I'm at. Like I have YouTube just now, but I'm not gonna say I'm an expert. Never really did great on TikTok. But yeah, when did you so you were 10 years old ish getting into Facebook. When did you make the jump to Instagram?
So Instagram kind of became cool when I was in high school. And mostly like everybody would just, post their outfits and just stuff like that. Um, and I think it was maybe just like a few years, actually 1 year after I graduated college. So this is like, 4 years after high school. Um, I started posting like my meals on there and like my workouts and stuff and like my progress. Not to make money or not to have a business or anything. Like I just was kind of just sharing what I was doing because I just made this huge transformation and I didn't look anything like myself and so people were excited and they started asking me for help and like people that I know just messaging me about meal plans and questions about going vegan and stuff and so I just kind of started posting more and more just as something fun. I started working at a gym and that's when I tried to make it more, I guess, actually like have a marketing strategy. At least try. Like I still didn't know what I was doing. I hadn't had a business coach yet or anything like that. But I was like, the gym had no social media, and it's like that was the way of the world. So I was trying to convince my boss, like, hey, we need to make an Instagram. Like, we need to promote this gym. Like, nobody knows about this gym. Like, we need to go online. Um, and so I did my best, working on the gym social media and mine, and, I ended up leaving that job, and that's just kind of when I started doing my own thing, and, Julian Hero from Jacked Vegans, DM'd me and was like, "Hey, are you a vegan coach?" And I was like, "No, but, I would like to be. It's kinda like, a goal of mine where I might go in the future." And he's like, "Well, why not now?" You know? And I'm like, "Well, I don't really have all the equipment I need. Like, I need a nice camera. I need this. I need that." And he was like, "No, you don't. You don't need any of that. You can start now." He was like, "You look great. You know what you're doing." He's like, "You should be coaching people." And I was like, "Okay." Well, we set up a call and it was then that I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this and just see what happens and where it goes. And I mean, I wouldn't be here without my social media, my content, because that is like literally meatless muscle and what it's become. So it's just crazy how life changing it's been.
Yeah, it's it's nuts. You were taking me back down memory lane, like back like I don't know, 5 years ago when I had something cool to post, like I hit a new low weigh in or made a transformation post, like, you'd make the post and you sit around for a little bit like, "Ooh, who liked it? Oh, I got a
Yeah.
comment this time. Oh, sweet. I like this person. Let me reply." And like you were surprised or excited by those things. And now it's like, "Oh shit, I only got 30 comments in the first hour. This post isn't doing that good." Like it's never, "Oh, yay, I'm doing great." It's like, "Okay, it did what it's supposed to do," or, "Oh, it didn't do good enough." Like at least for me, it's crazy how I forget, like, some people don't have Instagram. I'll say, "Oh, what's your handle?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't have Instagram." And I'm like, "You're not 75 and you're not 5. Why don't you have an Instagram?" And then I
Yeah.
also realized some people go on Instagram for fun. Actually, most people go on Instagram for fun. For us, it's more of a it's almost exclusively a business to the point where very rarely do I scroll. Um, I try to keep up with people, but I mean, I follow like 3,000 people. There's no way. There's no way I can keep up with 3,000 people. There's just so it's changed a lot for me
Yeah.
from the start.
Yeah. It's a
But
great
it's how
tool though.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
how I met
mean,
you.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, truly, it's just kind of like the way of the world now. I mean, especially with COVID, I think everything changed after the pandemic. And that's when my business took off. So I always say, I really just had a lot of luck and I had the right idea at the right time. Because I was just starting my coaching business when the pandemic hit. So like all these people were transitioning to training online and to working out from home. So I took full advantage of that. But I feel like the world has permanently changed because of that. Like if you look at Amazon and
Mhm,
these delivery services, I mean, like brick and mortar stores are like not even really a thing anymore. Like everybody has some sort of online, even if you're apparel, like yeah, you have to have a warehouse, you have to have some sort of building, but like you think about drop shipping and all the marketing is online. Like they're not trying to get in like Macy's anymore. Like they're trying
mm-mm.
to grow their social media. So um I just feel like it's just the way of the world. It's crazy how things have changed. But, a lot of good things too, and like you were saying, a lot of people don't have well, like, there are people who don't have social media. I wouldn't say a lot of people don't, but, a lot of people get burnout, which we're gonna talk about in another episode, delete it, and then it's like, "What? Why don't you have Instagram?" But there are people who, like, get burned out on social media, but there's a lot of good things that have come from it as well, like you said, and I think for one of the most beneficial things is that you have freedom of your time. Like, you can kind of, choose when you wanna work, where you wanna work. I mean, you can work from anywhere, as long as you have
Yeah,
internet, you just need your phone and you could post, you could do whatever. So it's I think allowed a lot of people to actually have jobs that they feel fulfilled with because, like, I don't think personally me, I would have ever been happy in some sort of corporate job. I just don't think I ever would have been fulfilled. I would have not been satisfied. And so it's given me like the ability to actually live out my dream, which is really cool.
I agree 100%. It's been life changing for me, and I don't know if I was anti social media before, and now I see like some people are. And I think it's just like anything else. It's a tool. I mean, like, are you going to be anti gun? Some people are, and I get the mindset, but then like, why aren't you anti car? Why aren't you anti alcohol? Like, why aren't you anti obesity? Because these things all kill people too. I think it's same as with social media. It's like, how can you find the positives and focus on those? And kind of like for me, people say like, "Oh my god, like you didn't turn off your comments on that post. You got so many hateful messages." And like me and Rachel, um, my client and our former student, actually, I'm meeting up with her at the gym today. Her and Alex are in town, so that's gonna be cool. Dating this episode a little bit, but her and I collabed on a post, and we got it's probably at 1,500 comments now. I checked it yesterday. It's been up for like a month. There were like 1,442 comments last time I checked, and over half of them are negative. And it's like, good try, guys. You got nothing on the kids that used to bully me. Like, I could care less. Like, thanks for the comments. Oh, you made fun of my hair? Pff, been having that my whole life. Oh, you're making fun of my belly, call me fat or like whatever. Like, I don't care. Saying I'm weak because I'm vegan or I'm stronger because I eat meat. I don't care. Thank you for contributing, making that comment counter go one higher. Not going to hurt my feelings. And that's me. And not everybody's the same, though. Like Simone Biles on that Netflix documentary, she turned her comments off for a bit. That's what she had to do. So everybody's got to draw their own line and figure out what's healthy for them. But
So for
yeah,
you, when you finally decided, like, hey, I'm gonna, try to create like a page geared for vegan fitness, information, whatever, where did you start and then where are you now for people who are listening?
man, y'all can scroll back. Like, I had no clue what the hell I was doing. I was taking like crappy like the food that I posted, it didn't look edible. It didn't look good. But it was raw, it was real, it was in my parents' old house with crappy lighting and my fucking iPhone 6 or whatever, like, man, my videos would be crappy little no tripod, put the water bottle on the floor, phone on the ground, and no editing, just a raw video. Okay, this is how my deadlifts look today or whatever, hit a new PR, check out my squat. I did my 1 rep max because who does 1 rep maxes? Um, and it just evolved over time. I think finding other people like you, Brooke, and seeing the content you were putting. Oh, look, she's doing slides with text on the slides, with photos. It actually looks good. Oh shit, her logo's on there so that people can't steal her before and after transformations. Like, even if you don't have an editor or something like that, go to your story and just add the photo, add your handle to the story, and then save that to your camera roll and then post that. Like, you can find little ways. Um, I still had no clue I wanted to be a coach, but I knew I wanted to do something. I ended up meeting a friend when I was in Texas, and he was going to write this big cookbook for his personal online training platform. And he was making like 10 grand a month off his in-person training clients. And I was like, wow, this guy really knows what he's doing. And he offered to let me make the vegan part of the cookbook. And I was like, I'm down. I'm so down. When are we posting? He's like, in 2 months. I was like, okay. So I grinded. I got my book finished. I got it edited. It was not that great, but it's okay. It's still in my link tree, but whatever. And I come to him, I'm like, I got it. Like, I know I'm like almost like I got 1 day left, but I got it. And he's like, oh, I didn't even start. And I was like, what? So it's fine though, because then I was like, I'm still gonna post it. I'm gonna figure out how to post it. I'm gonna create my own little website or whatever I got to do. That was my first venture into anything financial or capitalism or entrepreneurial on Instagram. And I had been posting like little workout clips and things like that. And then it just got better over time. There was no, I don't know, maybe there's a school for it, but I didn't think there was a school for social media. I've just imitated. I've imitated everybody else that looks like they're doing something good. And I've improved along the way. I mean, I got an iPhone 14 now, so that's nice, but like I have a professional camera. I use Lightroom to help edit my photos, and I can edit reels all right now. I actually usually outsource that. I have some editors that do it for me. Sean does a great job for all the Vegans Explore posts. I'll send him the raw clips, but if I have the time, I can edit a video. I can do it pretty well. I enjoy it. I know that, God, I'm talking a lot now, but I remember Brooke, you would always say like your favorite part was like the editing and getting to create the post, like the creative artistic aspect. Cause this is almost like, I mean, almost. It is art. It's just not in the way people would normally think of it. It's like making commercials. It's like making informational stuff. It's trying to capture people's attention spans, which is harder and harder to do, but also with your own face, your own identity, and your own, I guess, opinions or experience. So yeah, I never intended for this to become what it was. It just slowly grew. I knew I wanted to do something. I had no idea. I was in a corporate job, and I thought that that's where I was going to be happy. And I started to realize maybe I could do something else. So that was it for me. I didn't happen to get to meet somebody like Julian, like you, and do a one-on-one where he's like, "Yeah, go coach." That would have been. I know myself. I probably would have fought it. I wouldn't have believed in myself at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it wasn't like very common back then either. Like it was a few of the top, like the influencers weren't just like everyday people. Like they were like the celebrities you saw on TV or like famous athletes or people in magazines, whatever. Like it wasn't just, it didn't feel like anybody could just do it. But you can, like, it's crazy. I know I started with like 2,000 followers, which was actually a lot in hindsight, like looking back, just considering those were just people like I went to college with and I went to high school with, and like people from my gym and stuff. So that's where I started. And I mean, like you said, going back, it's like, it's crazy. Like I remember flipping out like when I hit 10,000, like I thought that was just the coolest thing ever, and then back then you couldn't have the swipe up until you hit 10,000.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah.
You used to be able to like swipe up and it would take you to the link, which was so cool. I don't know why they got rid of that. But yeah, so like I was like, yes, I can finally do the swipe up. This is so cool. But yeah, so and it's taken me like 4 years to get to 73,000. It's a process. I think a lot of people think, which is what I used to think. I used to think, oh, I just need one post to go viral and that'll be it. And it's not like that. Like I've had several posts go viral. I've had a handful. I mean, probably not more than 4 or 5 of my posts get over like 1 million views. But that's not enough for people to go follow you. So I think people rely too heavily on going viral. And it's really
Yeah.
not about that. It's about like consistently posting good, valuable content. That's why people follow you because and I've come to the realization over the years, like maybe especially last year, like honestly, most people follow you for selfish reasons. They're not most, I would say most people, and I can even say the same, the people that I follow, it's not necessarily because I like who they are and like I want to know everything that they're doing in their day and just like see what they're doing with their dog and their kids and their brother. Like I don't care about that stuff. I care about like the stuff they're sharing, like whether it's recipes or maybe they have like very good insights into bodybuilding prep. They have great hacks for health and stuff, whatever it is. Most people follow you for those reasons. So if you're trying to start a social media account, you have to think about that. Like, and you're trying to grow your following. Why do people even want to follow you? It's because of the value that you're putting out.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I mostly follow people that I want to learn from. If y'all are posting negative stuff, man, I've had a few people over the years that I've followed, and every post from them is, man, this week sucked. Like my car tire got flat. Like, oh, okay, that happens. Next week, man, this week sucks. Like I my dog had this issue. I wasn't able to go to the gym because I was tired, and then I ate off my plan, and I didn't feel good the next day, so I didn't eat the next. And it's just like negativity, negativity, negativity. Like every time, I can't follow you. Sorry, I like
Mm-mm.
not that I even follow that many people, but like I. I will, or like, not, I follow a lot of people, but like, I don't watch a lot of people. But if I watch you and all you do is complain, and I understand shit happens. So that's fine. But like if you're constantly complaining and not doing anything about it, I don't really even my brother. I love my brother. I love my brother a lot. He's one of the smartest people I know. And I really had to take a playbook out of a play out of Sean's playbook. My brother was complaining about something. And he's right. And I think it actually had to do with he was basically telling me not to get all high and mighty because I'm vegan, and he's vegan too. He's like, you're in no place to judge anybody else. I was like, well, I don't kill animals, so haha. And he's like, yeah, who made your phone? I was like, iPhone. And he's like, yeah, they use child slavery. So, you know, while you're on your phone that was made by slaves, you can go tell people that they're not good for they're not being vegan, but like you're on a phone made by slaves. And I was like, okay, all right, you got a point there. Are there any companies that make phones not by slaves? And he's like, currently, no. And I was like, is there anything I can do in my day to day life to not support this or not advocate for it or to fight against it? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, okay, well, as soon as you know, if there's a company that comes out, even if I got to pay a little bit extra money for a phone or something like that, I'll make that step. The cool thing about veganism is anyone outside of somebody in like a war torn country or somebody that's literally starving to death in a third world country, anybody in the United States can go vegan, like, or at least even eat a vegan meal. It doesn't have to go fully vegan. They can eat a plant-based meal, and it might even be cheaper, healthier. Like it's doable, and I can show them how. I can make it sexy. I can make it funny. I can find a way to encourage somebody, inspire somebody to eat a little bit more plant-based, and that's how easy it is. It's not these other, I don't know how to fight the slavery on phones. I don't know. But if somebody has a great resource, please send it my way. If it's something that I can do, I'll do it. But that's kind of why I think veganism is my fight, is because it's something we can all do. We can't, our votes matter somewhat in the presidential election, but that's once every 4 years. Vote every day through veganism. I feel like I got really sidetracked there. I don't know where all this came from, but let's reel it back in because we're just rambling a lot. I think this was valuable. I learned a little bit more about you and where you came from, and I think what we've done is we've laid the groundwork. We have laid the groundwork, the foundation, the frowned work. Anyways, um, anybody listening to this can relate to one of us. Anybody listening to this either had a MySpace, a Facebook, and Instagram, and they never thought, hey, I'm going to be an influencer or have influence and use it to some capacity. And now they saw that we started in that spot. So they can too. Let's spend like the next 10 or 15 minutes like hammering out objectives. Like what should you be doing with your account if you want to grow it, to get more eyes on it? How can you best use it? I'll let you share the first one since I just talked.
Yeah, so I would say engage with other people is huge. Don't just go on Instagram, post, and then go about your day. Because that's not how the app works. And the creators of Instagram, they want people to be on the app. So if you're on the app, you know, producing content for your own account, but then also supporting other accounts, commenting on other people's accounts, collaborating with people, working with companies, like that is what Instagram wants. They want that interaction from you. So you have to make sure that you're favoring the algorithm, which is by engaging. So commenting on people's posts, leaving engaging comments on people's posts, not like a fire emoji. Like you got to do a little bit more than that for it to actually count. And also producing engaging content. So engagement is huge. I think that's where so many people kind of miss the mark, is the engagement. They think, they need some awesome, like I said, viral video. And it's not really so much about going viral. Like that's kind of a TikTok thing, but on Instagram, it's really just about building that community. Like the best accounts have the best communities and the best engagement.
Yeah, I will second that. I'll back that up and say Instagram now is not the vehicle for you to get in front of millions of people. Maybe one day in the past it was. Instagram right now is your key to opening doors and connections that you didn't have before. I wouldn't have met Brooke if it wasn't for Instagram. That's been a huge part of my life. Sean, more or less, Facebook. But even outside of that, almost every company I've ever worked with started in their DMs. Most of the closest people in my life started in the DMs. Um, and like Brooke was saying, once you post, go engage with other people. It doesn't even have to be in an engagement group. Just go scroll on your feed, post on some other people's stuff, hype them up if it's appropriate, empathize with them if it's appropriate. And like, I'm not sitting here telling you guys to just be fake. Like, if somebody's dog just died, say, I'm sorry your dog died. Like, that's real. And, it's engagement and it's honest. And you're going to find friends and build a community that way. And then it's better than sitting around like, oh, nobody commented on my post. Well, did you comment on anybody else's? Like, what do you expect?
Yep.
And then, I mean, even from a selfish perspective, if a big food company, a big vegan food company, for example, makes a post and like they have, I don't know, 100,000 followers and there's like no comments on there, shit. If you get to be the first comment, everybody else is going to scroll past you. When somebody comments on your post, like, oh, I love that pizza video, ask them a question. What kind of video would you want to see next? What's your favorite pizza? And then you get an extra comment when they reply. Like, it's almost like playing a game, but try and get that engagement. That's going to help push you out further into the algorithm and then get you in front of new eyes. Um, I think really big, quick points will be update your bio, put who you are, not just your pronouns, not just your hometown, but are you a vegan bodybuilder? Are you a cosplay actor that lives in San Francisco? Like what's your thing? What's your deal? Somebody should be able to click on your bio and figure that out real quick. Put a good profile pic. Um, yeah, things like that. Like what else do you have for profile optimization?
I think that's really good. I would say keywords too, like you were saying, like when people go to your page, yeah, they need to know who you are, like what makes you different. So if you're trying to actually grow your social media and get people to follow you, you want to make sure that when they're reading your bio, like they know what you're about. Like, do you help vegan women lose weight? Do you post recipes daily, like whatever it is. And I using those keywords too, because that makes you more searchable. So like you said, vegan bodybuilder. If that's the kind of target audience you're going for, then you should have that in your bio so that when people go and they're searching on Instagram, like, wonder if there's any cool vegan bodybuilders out there. Like your page will pop up. You're more likely to pop up before all the other vegans out there. So making sure that you have those keywords in there, make your profile searchable. I feel like a lot of people put things in their bio that is just, I don't know, like irrelevant to like what they're actually posting. So like nobody cares like when you graduated or like what school you went to, whatever. What is your content about? What can people expect from you on the daily? Like that's what should be in your
Yeah,
bio. And you only have so many characters. Like it's 160 characters, I think. So choose wisely. Choose what's going to make people want to follow you.
I agree. Um, in regards to your content, it's funny, like I have to take myself out of the seat I'm in right now. I used to think about what I was gonna post like all day long. Like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready to post this. Should I put like just fucking do it. Don't think about it that much. Like I see this with like even with Ali or other people getting back into Instagram. Just put it up there. Like put it out there. Don't worry about it. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. There's so many of my I got over 3,000 posts. A lot of them are nowhere near perfect. Nowhere near like I even look back from something a year ago and I was like, I posted that? Damn. I wouldn't have posted that this year. It wasn't ready to go, but like I didn't know any better. I know better because I kept getting better over time. Make sure make sure you guys have some sort of if you're really trying to grow, some sort of like posting frequency. I would say whatever you can consistently stick with up to once a day is probably ideal. If I was starting from scratch, I would post daily, a mix between whatever I felt like, whether it's photos, reels, whatever. If you're going to do a reel, I think that's the harder barrier to entry. It's not hard to take one good photo. It's hard to make a good 30-second reel because you're going to need about 30 to 45 different clips of footage for that 30-second reel. People think that they can post a reel and capture your attention when there's a 5 second clip, a 5 second. No, they're gone after the first 3 seconds. You got to be constantly changing angles or changing shots. Basically, think about it like a little TV ad. Like it needs to be quick. And like you said, like you had a 7 second reel, and I bet it was either like text popping up on the screen. So they need to watch the full 7 seconds, or it's 7 different little workouts. It's jumping through them. That's going to help you in the algorithm, at least in my opinion. So it's got to be engaging to reach a lot of people.
Yeah.
The direct contradiction to everything I just said is I think you should also be yourself and post valuable content if you're trying to grow. Whatever that is for you, if it's cooking or fitness or how to read the astrological signs, whatever your thing is, dive into that. Maybe that's your thing and that makes you weird, but that's good. We want to be weird on Instagram. If you're normal or boring, not going to grow. So embrace your weirdness. It's okay to be weird. I highly recommend it.
And the other thing is, I think people forget, who aren't in it like we are, really the likes on your post are irrelevant. That is the like least important thing when it comes to the algorithm is likes. And then second to that is comments, and then you have shares, and then you have saves. So saves being the most important, that tells you valuable content is the most important. So I know like my recipes, for example, those always get a ton of saves because people want to come back to it and they want to make it. Or a list of my favorite vegan proteins, those always go crazy on saves. Or a full day of eating, or a training video, a form video, those always do great. So focusing on valuable content, stuff that people are going to want to come back to your page for, is really, really key. Because like we said before, people follow you for selfish reasons. So like, even if you're really attractive, you still got to have some value in there if you're really trying to grow your page. I mean, like, I feel like too many people try to rely on like, sexy gym pics or like whatever. And that'll get you so far. But if you're really trying to grow your social media, and then actually also, I mean, depending on what your business is, make sales, then you have to show people that you do know something, you know what you're doing, and provide value to them that they can actually implement. Then it works. And they're like, oh, wow, like that was a good tip. Like, let me follow along and see what else she says. I think that above all is key, is to have valuable content. If you don't have valuable content, like your bio, your awesome profile picture,
None of it
engagement,
matters.
even, yeah, it doesn't really matter.
And I know some people will be thinking like, oh man, like what if I make this perfect post on how to build a meal plan and it tells them exactly how to do it? Then I'll be giving away the thing I'm selling. Nah, no, not at all. You're giving the best commercial possible. If you put out the perfect surefire way to build a meal plan and 10 people are really into it, one of those 10 is going to take and do it for themselves. The other 9 out of the 10 are going to be like, oh, this person really knows what they're talking about. They could really do this for me. Or I could make the meal plan, but I know I won't hold myself accountable. Let me hire this person to do it for me. Like that's how it's going to go. So don't be afraid of giving away value. In fact, if you're not giving away value, why the hell would anybody watch your page? It's that simple. What I
Yeah, because
try to
all
do
this,
is
I was
oh,
just
sorry,
gonna
go ahead.
say, all this information is out there. Like, there's
Yeah,
nothing new. Like, don't try to recreate the wheel because it's all been said. I mean, social media has been around since you and I were in elementary school. Like, it's out there. So, it's like you said, it's really not about giving away free information. It's people can't reach their goals because of the support and the accountability, like you said, because all of this is free online. So don't feel bad. By giving away some free information, because all it's going to do is increase your credibility, and that's it.
yeah, yeah, 100%. Um, I urge you to throw a bit of a personal flair in there, whatever your personal thing is. Like Brooke, I know some of your best posts have been from a place of vulnerability, and I've shared freaking everything in my life. Instagram for me before it was business, it really was my journal. Like Allie's like, you should get a journal. I'm like, yeah, it's called the Bodybuilding Vegan. Go check it out. Um, I would put things, I would literally write, I would type out a post like in a notepad as if I was writing a journal entry, and then I would go post it. And it actually, for me, I'll get to the business side. I think it allows people to empathize with me, to see things how I see it, and to relate with me. Oh, this guy's having a bad day, or this he's went through a breakup, or oh, he lost a parent. And I can relate to that because that happened to me. Like those are the days when I put out stuff like that I was going through a breakup or lost my dad. Like, more people reach out, connect with me that I didn't even know followed me or knew anything about me than anything else. And for me, it's almost been a from a business standpoint, that's great. All these people empathize with me, but that's not really why I'm doing it. For me, it was a way to process some of these things. When watching my dad die was one thing, but going home and writing the post and putting up 10 photos of him that night, that was like my actual, like, I'm ready to admit this happened. And it wasn't for clout or for likes or for anything else. It was like, this is how I'm going to process it and move forward, um, and put it out there because I'm going to have to tell everybody eventually. I'm going to do it today. And like, for me, that was healing. So I guess however you want to use it selfishly for you, but also sharing that side of yourself will let other people know you're not just another influencer. You're not just, a robot. Or some like Nike athlete that they could never aspire to be like. Like we all go through shit and be vulnerable is what I think. Like I think it's been really great for me.
Yeah, I think so too. I think people need to figure out what makes them different. That
Yeah,
I think that's really important, because people people invest in people. So when people resonate with your story, they're more likely to invest into you, because they relate to you. And it's like you said, and I had a friend one time who was, urging me to post about like some of my health and hormone issues and all that I went through. And she was just saying like she really likes when influencers show that side of them, that like they're not perfect and they have their own issues and they fight their own battles. So I do think that's important. And I know even for me, it's like the people that I do follow, they're real and they're authentic and they're genuine. And you can tell a difference, especially like with content where people are actually talking, looking at the camera, like they're actually showing up on the camera. Like those posts, it's really hard to fake that. So I mean, it can be done, of course, but I do feel like it comes off as more genuine. So yeah, I think being yourself is really key. And if you're showing up as yourself, you're going to attract the right people.
100%. And you just hit on a huge part. Showing your face. Oh man, I think I was like 2021 before I actually started putting my face in stories. I forget who told me to do it, but somebody was like, "You need to do this," and I was like, "I don't want to put my face in a story. I don't like my face." And they're like, "You got to do it." And now I look back and I see most of my reels are like me out doing stuff, or somebody's helping me film, or it does have me in there. If you go back a few thousand posts, it was a photo, a plate of food, or it was me like halfway across the gym in dark lighting doing hack squats. Like you couldn't see me. Like nobody knew who I was. They just knew what I ate and what gym I went to, and that I think makes a really big difference. It's almost just like if you're trying to get a client, you could email them, you could text them, you could voice note them, you could call them, or you could FaceTime them. Which do you think is going to have the biggest closure rate? FaceTime. 100%. You feel like or probably face to face. Yeah, I've had more face to face closes like than probably any, at least success rate, like percentage wise. And the next would be FaceTime. It's going to be hard to face to face somebody that's in Japan, but FaceTime does well. So literally do FaceTime, but just delay it on Instagram. Put it on there. It's going to help you grow a lot. And who cares if you look weird? I mean, I look weird. Like I wasn't always this big. You go back and watch. Like I've had some low points too. Like where my health wasn't that great or I didn't look this way, but I still had something to say and something to put out and something of value. Literally everybody has something of value because nobody's lived your life from your perspective. So whatever you're at, whatever stage you're at, you have value to put out there. It's just on you to actually do it.
Mm, yeah, it can be done. I think it's like with the gym, and we always say this to our academy students. It's really consistency and learning from your mistakes and then doing better and figuring out what works, what doesn't work. It's a lot of trial and error, and it's a journey. It's a journey, just like lifting weights and changing your body. Like you just consistently have to show up and do better at something. And
Yeah.
like you're lifting weights, you're lifting more squats this week than you were last week. it's kind of the same thing with social media. Like you're posting more, or you're posting higher quality posts, or you're spending more time editing. It's a game. And like, start simple, like you said. If it's overwhelming, you don't have to be perfect. You just got to start, and then you can always get better. Kind of like with my clients, like sometimes I'll just have a client like, all right, you're overwhelmed easily. Let's just do training this first week. That's it. All right, next week, let's just do calories. And then third week, we're doing, training, calories, and protein. You add one thing per week. And it's the same thing. You could do the same thing with social media, because we find like our academy students, most of the time, they just get overwhelmed with like all the stuff they have to do. Like, okay, if editing a video is too much for you right now, don't even edit it. It's fine. Like, people are still going to like it. People are still going to get what you're saying. So just post it, and then you can worry about the editing later once you've got that down.
Yeah. I will say, from the editing side, add captions. That was the video. Like a year and a half ago, I posted a video and I didn't have captions. I was like, what are you doing, man? Like, if somebody doesn't have headphones, they're not gonna be sitting in the middle of the gym or on the bus and like listening to me speak full speed, full volume. Like, put captions. Put captions
Yeah.
for everything. If that's the only editing you do, that's fine. Um, Man, I just went off on a tangent. Oh, I was gonna say, it's the 4 agreements. Always do your best, and your best is gonna be different on each day and different over time. You know, for me, 10 years ago when I went in the gym and I was maybe benching like 225, that was 100%. That was my best. I gave it my all, and that was the output. Maybe not the best in the world, but that was my best. And now if I go give 100%, it's a lot more than that. Same with social media. It's given 100% back in 2021. Posts weren't that great, but that was what I could do at my best. And over time, it got better. So always do your best. Don't get so caught up in the weeds. It's social media. You can go back and, I mean, you delete most of it, I guess. The internet is an interesting place. I probably wouldn't go say some racist or homophobic or sexist shit, because that might get lost in there forever. But as long as you're being kind and whatever you post, it's probably not going to come back to bite you in the ass. Maybe you were weak 5 years ago when you made that post, but who cares now? Well, this was good. I think this was some
Yeah.
value, some insights. I was gonna say collab with people, collab with your peers, collab with companies. Take your shot. You'll never know until you ask. And honestly, it's almost like there's a big company, and then this little woman or little man runs the social media, and they get a DM from somebody, and they're like, "Oh, hey, I'd love to, get some free pizza." And they're like, "Okay." And you're like, "What?"
Yep.
And they're like, "Okay, we'll send it to you." I'm like, "Ah, okay, pizza, sweet." Or whatever it is, protein or jerky, or if you're gonna try and work with companies and help promote them, do it, and they'll probably work with you. Ask them if they'll collab with you, and then you can get on their page and in front of their followers, and it's like free advertising for you, and you just got free food. Like, win-win. Giving away all the secrets, but you got to listen at least an hour deep to find them.
Yes.
That's about all I got, dude, for right now.
Do we need to do the question, or are we skipping that? Are we out of time?
Y'all keep sending your questions so we can have a full Q&A. I think I think we've done enough.
Okay, we can do it on the next one.
We will get to you on the next one, but keep sending them because we want them. veganswholivepodcast.com. Send us your questions. We will eventually answer them live on air. I want to do like a whole episode of Q&As, because like it's just too much to try and do that in this. But yeah, we'll get there. We will.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Next time.
Send more questions, guys.
Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. Send it to all the people. Are we doing an official outro, or is that it?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. All right. Y'all know what to do. We love you. If y'all love us, you'll give us a rating. Send it to everybody. All right. Vegans Who Live Podcast, Bodybuilding Vegan, and Miss Meatless Muscle. We are out.